Well, with me now is Behnam Ben Taleblu, Iran Programme Senior Director and Senior Fellow at the Foundation for the Defence of Democracy. It's very good to have you with us. Thanks for coming in once again. So regarding the case of Ms. Sala reportedly now being held for around a week in Tehran, what more do we know about this reported detention?
Well, it's a pleasure to be with you. There's still too many dots to connect, but it looks like the Islamic Republic is once again trying to engage in hostage diplomacy. We know that having a foreign passport doesn't immunize you if you're a reporter, if you're a traveler, if you're a visitor in a country like the Islamic Republic that's had hostage-taking essentially be around as long as it's been in power. But there is a report now about the detention and arrest of an Iranian national in Rome that could have motivated the desire for the Islamic Republic to snatch and grab a Italian national in the Islamic Republic and try to do exactly what they did with the Swedes just a few months back, meaning engage in a hostage swap where they take an innocent person and try to swap it for a guilty person detained abroad.
Iran has done that in the past,
Indeed.
used people with ties to Western countries as bargaining chips. So you think that could be happening again?
Indeed, and it's always a slanted scale, because anytime you do get out someone who is held unjustly and detained as a hostage in the Islamic Republic, that in and itself is a victory. It's a victory for life. But at the same time, the Islamic Republic does this to stop the prosecution of actual criminals, be it on the European continent, be it in the U.S. or elsewhere.
So what do we know about the person on the other side, allegedly?
So he is believed to be tied to a larger drone technology procurement ring that the DOJ unveiled earlier in, I believe, December, tied to a drone strike against a U.S. base in Jordan about a year ago now. And ultimately, the U.S. made one arrest in Boston. That individual, that Iranian national, has pleaded not guilty to the charges, but the Italians also made one arrest on behalf of the Americans, and this seems to be tied to the detention of this innocent Italian reporter.
We'll have to see how that situation continues to unfold, but I also do want to touch on the broader situation in the Middle East right now, including what we're seeing between the Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen and also Israel. How significant do you think this could be in terms of seeing a new front? How significant do you think escalation could be between the two sides?
I certainly think we're set for more escalation between the Houthis in Yemen and the Israelis, likely to go into 2025, despite earlier this week Iran's supreme leader saying that Iran doesn't have any proxies. Its proxies are actually now filling the void where its firepower now seems to be lacking. Lest we forget, the Houthis are the only proxy of the Islamic Republic with medium-range ballistic missiles. These are really state-level capabilities. Some of them can even carry unconventional payloads like a nuclear weapon, and they're modeled off of a progenitor liquid propellant Iranian medium-range system. So these are really state-level technologies in the hand of a non-state actor that continues to fire them, and thus far seems to be undeterred by the increasing Israeli responses, be it against personnel, be it against weapons depots, or be it against critical infrastructure in Yemen.
The fact that we are talking about the Houthis now, when of course we know that Iran and Iranian-backed groups have been significantly weakened in recent months, do you think the intelligence community, the international community, had underestimated the full extent of capabilities in Houthi hands?
Well, not just capabilities in Houthi hands. There's been a long political, military I would say, shortcoming for the West, for the international community, for the European Union, for the U.S., the U.K., everyone who has a maritime patrol in the Red Sea to get the Houthis to turn off the firepower. Largely, the U.S. and the U.K. have been going after things rather than targeting Houthi leaders. It remains to be seen if the Israelis will now go after Houthi leaders in a bid to get the Houthis to turn off the fire, which, A, used to harass vessels of the Red Sea, but is now directly landing on Israeli territory.
Behnam Ben Taleblu, Iran Programme Senior Director and Senior Fellow at the Foundation for the Defence of Democracies. Good to have your analysis. Thank you.
Happy holidays.